And we're joined now by the Deputy Mayor of Eurobodalla Shire Council, Rob Pollock. Councillor Pollock, hello.
G'day, how you doing?
Yeah, very well, thanks. Although some rain would be good, it's obviously going to cause a problem eventually for council water supplies.
Yeah, well, the idea, I think, at this time of the year and in these circumstances is to make sure that you're planning for the future and you plan for the worst and hope for the best. And that's what we're doing. In the middle of October, we'll go over to level 1 restrictions, and if it's as dry as is being forecast, I think we'd reach level 2 restrictions by late December.
And what does that mean for consumption of water?
Well, it means that watering lawns, using hoses, drip irrigation systems, they're all under prohibition or under time restriction, and cars and boats washed on, grass areas, using your brains as much as anything, just so that we're not wasting.
And this is a plan that has been laid out by the council for a while, so some long-term planning in place here.
Oh yeah, we've actually got well over 12 months water supply in reserve with prudent management. So if we didn't get another drop in the next 12 months, essential services can be maintained. But we are actually going ahead with planning to build a very large southern storage dam, and that will alleviate problems well and truly into the future.
Okay, and Councillor Pollock, an announcement by the council last week on Corrigans at Hanging Rock and observation points, some more long-term planning there in terms of recreation facilities and reserves. What's in the works there?
Well, basically, we've got a program where we're going over all of the Crown reserves within the Shire, and this is time to review those plans for Corrigans and Hanging Rock and Observation Point. And we map the current and the future infrastructure and development in the whole of the precinct. We've got a drop-in session today between 1 and 3. There's a marquee at the Corrigans Reserve, just near the inclusive playground there, opposite the shops. Hanging Rock area includes the marine rescue and the boat ramp, car park. And so all of the interest groups that are well and truly involved, like the tourism operators, sporting groups, business chamber, community groups, we've already been in touch with them, but this is a chance for the general public to be for their input into what they might envisage in terms of what they'd like to see there or how they use it, and that'll guide our planning for the next 5 or 10 years.
Okay, and some big developments on the cards for Batemans Bay. One of them is the Coach House Marina Resort, a $189 million project, including aged care and seniors living and residential housing, and the Southern Region Planning Panel has, put it on ice at the moment. Why has it stalled?
The panel, in their wisdom, have decided that there's a bit more detail needed as to how the whole of the process will operate. There are concerns from all of the adjoining neighbours, and you would expect those concerns if whenever we have situations where what people have enjoyed for the last 20, 30 or 50 years, if there's going to be any changes or increases in volume of traffic, you would naturally express them to be concerned. And the panel, to my understanding, just wants more detail on some of those more specific problems envisaged by the residents. So they've asked the developers to come back with detail as to how they're going to address those.
Was it a bit premature to put it before the panel in the first place?
That's an interesting question. Not in the opinion of the planning staff at Eurobodalla, who actually do the process and then present all of the reports to the planners. And of course, the developers at this stage, they can make up their mind whether they go along with that or indeed they lodge an appeal to the Land and Environment Court. We'll watch this space with interest.
Okay, and another major development, a $19 million residential development for Beach Road, and council has given the go-ahead for that. What will that look like?
Well, it's obviously a large development, 67 individual apartments ranging from one-bedders up to a four-bedroom. But I think the thing that impressed councillors, and it was a unanimous decision, was the absolute quality and attention to detail that the proponents have gone into. You know, it is an important site. It's a highly visible site, and it will have impact on some of the surrounding residences and residents. But it was the work that had gone in, the presentation from the architect and the builder. It was found that and staff made that recommendation, and as I said, it was a unanimous decision by councillors.
All right, and was there some compromise on the height of the building, taking into account people's concerns about losing their view?
Not as presented and lodged, but there was a lot of work went into the design. It's not like it's a square brick or square solid mass. It's in four towers. It's stepped back from Beach Road itself, and there are, if you like, view corridors through the complex as well. So it's not as if you're dropping one almighty mass into the middle of Beach Road.
And Councillor Rob Pollock, last week on ABC South East, we heard from a real estate agent and former federal MP John Haslam. His vision for Batemans Bay, he reckons it could be a bit of a mecca for seniors, but points out that more housing stock would be required. Is that a vision that you share?
Oh, there's absolutely plenty of land stock for any expansion or development that's required or requested throughout the whole of the Eurobodalla Shire, just not the Bay. So I don't believe there's any shortage in that matter. It's the vision of what people have and what we want. I mean, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, people were not envisaging apartment living. You know, we all lived in quarter-acre blocks with the front garden and a veggie garden at the back, and that's what you spent your weekends. Well, you know, people's needs, wants and desires have changed over the years. So obviously the built form changes with that.
Okay, interesting times.
Simon, if we could move on, there's just one situation with the building of the Batemans Bay Bridge. It's a great opportunity to look at just how the whole of the waterfront in the Batemans Bay area is complementing that. So we've actually started a process of walking and talking with the residents and the business owners in Batemans Bay to get all of their ideas about revitalising the waterfront. And we obviously want to boost business and maximise the opportunities and enjoyment that people have along the waterfront, because that's obviously the main drawing power of Batemans Bay. It's positioned right on the water. And we're working with urban design specialists to gather community ideas and put them into the plans, and we'll be out talking to the community later on this year about what we've learned. It's obviously all in a draft situation at the moment, but I think one of the main aspects that came out of the discussion with the experts, and you know they've implemented these plans in other areas of Australia, is that people get very hung up on needing lots of car parking and right in the middle of town, and you've got to be able to drive into the post office or the bank or pick up whatever you want. They're saying that it's actually far more effective to have car parking on the periphery so that you're drawing people through the whole of the built or commercial environment to get to where they want to go. That has a far more dynamic effect on the economics of the town centre itself in terms of people stopping for coffee, walking past shops and impulse buying, etc. So
keep the traffic out of the CBD, so to speak.
And I think, you know, conventional wisdom has probably been the other way around. So it was a very interesting observation to have, and one that we'll certainly be taking on board. Yes,
some big decisions for the future being made in the Eurobodalla this year. Rob Pollock, great time to talk to you. Thank you very much.
Good on you, Simon. All the best.